Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Burr! It is cold in the library tonight. Yeah, I hope you're staying warm. It is hard to do with these temperatures if you're anywheres in the northern area. This cold front is something, I must say. It is certainly something. So we'll give everyone till about 7:05 to get in here, and then we'll start right into our story tonight. Yeah. Got a good one lined up tonight. I decided to do something with some animals for fun. I think that's going to become something I do at least once a week. Let's do one that involves animals. Real animals. Oh no, Breedub, why are you sad? Are you cold? I'm cold. Good thing I've got a cup of tea to keep me warm. What thing? Oh, okay. Look at this tea mug. Dinosaurs. Eh? Dinosaurs. Ooh, what did my camera just do? I need to get a better camera. Look at those colors. That was crazy. Oh. Dinosaurs! Rah! It's an interesting dinosaur emote. Looks like it's like, what is going on? Ah. So while we're waiting, anyone who wants to play part of the story can type in !pick me. I think they're designed that way on purpose. I don't know, I think that's just the style that Twitch uses. I didn't design them. And then when 7:05 rolls around, we'll start picking characters. We've only got 2 tonight, so make sure you get entered with !pick me if you want to be a part of it. Only 2 characters to choose tonight, so only 2 winners. Ba-da. It's going to be even colder tomorrow, if you can believe that. So everyone better make sure to stay warm tomorrow, too. Stay out of the cold. Nasty weather. Nasty, nasty weather. So in 1 more minute, we'll just get started. And whoever's here is here, and whoever's not, they're lost. They don't get to be part of our awesome story tonight. What on earth? Yeah, that emoji is something. Let me tell you what. I don't know what that is. What is that? Dan's game. I don't know what that's from. Looks like they took a picture of someone out of a video. So again, if you want to be part of the story, type ! !pick me, and I'll be rolling in a minute. We're gonna need 2 names for 2 boy characters tonight. That's what we're gonna do. Ooh, hello, C.H. Hackett. Good to see you again. So it is 7:05. I am gonna roll our first one and get that going. Nut Susanna, I need a name for a boy character. Name for a boy character. Haggis? Is that how it is? Haggis? Is that what that is? That's how I'm going to pronounce it. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Haggis? I'm going to go with haggis. Okay. Well, Kyle, see, you got to type exclamation mark pick me if you want a chance to win. Type it now. And then if I pick you, you get to choose the other character. Huh? See how that works? You say pick me. And then I'm like, I pick you. Kind of like Pokemon. I choose you. Pikachu. Alright, I'm going to roll the other one. C.H. Hackett. You won the other one. I need another name for a different boy. Sorry, Kyle. C. No George tonight. I know you're probably very disappointed that there's no George. Chester. Oh, that's fun. Okay. That is going to be all our characters for tonight. No places. Nothing like that. So yeah, I'm just going to get right into our story. Hopefully everyone's here who wants to be a part of it. Today, we venture to the Philippine Islands, a diverse, beautiful, and tropical world located close to the equator, somewhere between China and Australia. We're going to tell the story of Haggis, a giant, golden-crowned flying fox bat. Now, giant, golden-crowned flying fox bats are in a subcategory of bats known as megabats, and they are the biggest of the bat species. Some having a wingspan of up to 5 foot 6 inches. That's taller than some of you. It's a big bat. They have a black body and golden fur around their head and no tail, hence golden crowned. Their diet consists mostly of fruits and leaves, their favorite being figs. Unfortunately, giant golden crowned flying fox bats are currently listed as endangered, mostly due to forestation. So, with that little bit of background information, allow me to continue on with the story of Haggis. Now, Haggis's wingspan was only around 3 feet. He was still very young. But he had been working on his flying skills for weeks, trying to prove to his parents that he was ready. And tonight was the night. His parents had finally given him permission to go out on his first solo foraging mission. Yeah, first solo trip. It's a big deal. When they gave him the news, he did 3 flying flips. And as he prepared to leave, his parents gave him the usual warning speech. Use your big ears and amazing nose to pay attention to your surroundings. Yada yada. On and on. If you sense the weather changing or something amiss, come straight home. You know, all the stuff parents always say about being safe. Haggis, of course, nodded in acknowledgement and excitedly took flight. He immediately headed in the direction of his favorite fig tree grove. It was a long flight, but he knew he had the strength and knowledge to make it. He could already taste the figs. He reached the grove in a reasonable time, much faster than he had ever reached it with his parents. And he didn't even get turned around, not once. Immediately upon arriving, he began to gorge himself on the ripe figs. They tasted extra sweet tonight. As he was enjoying a particularly delicious fig, he heard something in the distance. He was too involved in the taste of his fig, though, and dismissed it. It was just too good. He took another bite, and his nose started to tingle. He smelled something familiar off in the distance again, but he couldn't place it, and his fig was gone. He needed another one. So he looked around and found another nice fig and continued to eat. And then, a few moments later, there was a sudden loud rumble. It startled Haggis. He tuned his ears like radar in different directions, attempting to locate the source of the rumble. And then that smell wafted into his nose again. This time, because he was on alert, his brain put two and two together. That was the musty smell of rain. And if he could smell it, it couldn't be far off. He quickly flew up above the canopy to take a look at the sky. And as he broke through the canopy of the rainforest, a loud burst of thunder nearly deafened him. The storm was close. He shook his head and was upset with himself for not paying attention and listening to his parents. He quickly judged the distance of the storm and thought about how far away from home he was. The odds that he could make it home before the storm hit were slim, but the thought of trying to stay the night in a scary unknown place was just as terrifying. What do you guys think? Should he try to make it home or find a place to wait out the storm? Go ahead and click on that link. It'll bring you through to a poll and place your vote on the poll. I'll give it about 30 seconds. Once the votes are in, we'll continue on with our story. I need your vote, though, so make sure to do it. I'm not going to wait forever, so you got to be quick. Do 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 do. And the winner is, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Oh no, it won't refresh. The winner is find a place to wait out the storm. Okay, you guys don't want him to try to make it home? Let's see. How should we? Haggis looked for a safe place to wait out the storm. He saw a little grove of sturdy trees not far off. The canopy was growing very tightly together. It would provide shelter from the rain and wind. And he flew in that direction. The rain, however, was on him before he could reach the grove. They fell like pellets from the sky. It hurt with each one. And he hastened trying to reach the grove. But the rain and the wind grew worse, as did the lightning and thunder. Just as he had nearly reached the grove, a branch broke above him. He tried to dodge it, but the branch clipped his wing, and he spiraled to the ground. When he hit the ground, he immediately attempted to take off again, wanting to make it to that grove in the distance that wasn't that far away. But his wing was sore, and he couldn't do it. He looked around and saw a very small grouping of rocks that would provide some shelter from the rain. So he crawled over there, enduring the pain of his wing. As he huddled under the rock, he thought about what his parents had told him some more, and really wished he had listened to them. He wished he was home safe, out of the weather. The storm raged on, and Haggis was cold, wet, and scared. He knew that predators roamed the forest floor, and the longer he was stuck, the longer he was in danger. But he didn't want to be out in the weather, getting even colder and wetter, so he waited. The storm started to fade. And this, with the fading storm and the lightning rain, he climbed out from his rock and attempted to stretch his wings to work out the pain so that he could fly again, get home to his family. But as he stretched his wings back and forth, it still hurt. He tried to take off a couple more times, but the pain was too much. Panic started to set in. If he couldn't fly, he couldn't get home, and he'd surely be eaten by some predator within the hour. So he hastened his stretching of the wing, which in reality was probably only making it worse. He could not work through the pain to get in the air. It was just going to take time. And then, right on cue, as his fear had implied it would, he heard a crashing noise in the forest not far off. He scrambled back to his rock, curled up into a ball, wrapping his wings around him as best he could, trying to become invisible. But against the greenery of the rainforest floor, he likely stuck out like a sore thumb. The crashing noise grew louder. He was trembling so much that he must have shook every raindrop off his body. And then, the thing making the noise ran into the clearing in front of him. It was a rather large goanna. Now, goannas, more commonly known as monitors, are a large, mostly carnivorous lizard. In the Philippines, there are many different species of goannas, most of which wouldn't hesitate to enjoy a tasty bat. Haggis was terrified. He tried to remain perfectly still under his rock. But then he heard the monitor make the oddest noise. It almost sounded as if it was crying. What do you guys think? At this point, you think Haggis should, yeah, that's right, Bree-Dub, lizard. Should he help, ask the monitor if it needs help, or continue hiding? Dangerous lizards that eat bats? I don't know if I'd be asking, but I guess that's up to you guys, if Haggis is that brave. Wow, you guys think Haggis is brave. I wouldn't be asking a monitor if it needed help. I feel like that's a good way to get eaten. But you have decided that Haggis is going to ask the monster, or the monitor, if it needs help. Haggis decided that hiding probably wouldn't work for long anyways. So he gathered his courage and he projected his voice outward and said, "Are you okay?" The monitor, startled, turned towards Haggis. It stared at him for a moment and then said, "Yes, I'm fine." The monitor then said, "What's a bat doing on the ground? Don't you know it's not safe?" Haggis nodded nervously and took a big gulp and said, "Please don't eat me!" The monitor laughed and said, "I'm not going to eat you. My name is Chester. Why on earth are you on the ground?" Haggis still wasn't sure if he could trust the monitor. His parents had warned him that they were sly creatures. Every movement that the lizard made, he flinched. Chester laughed again and said, "You're right to be scared of me. Most monitors would eat you for a snack in a heartbeat. But I am a graze monitor, and graze monitors eat mostly fruit. I find fruit much more appealing and less disgusting than bat meat." Haggis thought for a moment, thinking, is the monitor tricking me? And then he thought back to everything that his parents had taught him and remembered that they did say that some monitors were often seen eating the fruit at their favorite fig groves. And this made him feel a little better, so he let down his guard a little and told Chester of the troubles that the storm had brought him. The goanna listened and then, to Haggis's surprise, told him a very similar story. You see, Chester had been out and about, and the storm had created a mudslide that got him all turned around, and he was having trouble finding his way home to his family as well. Haggis and Chester decided that they would stick together for a little while and try to figure things out. As they wandered the forest floor in search of something that one of them recognized that would help them gain their direction back, their navigation senses, they chatted and it helped to pass the time, made things a little bit easier. They discovered that they had some similar interests, and perhaps their strongest thing that they shared was their love for figs. It was both of their favorite foods. As they talked about figs, they thought it was funny that they could almost smell them. And then, at the same time, they both realized they could actually smell figs. It was a strong scent blowing. And they followed their noses to the figs. And it just so happened to be the same grove of figs which Haggis had originally been feasting on the night before. Excited that he knew where he was, Haggis did a flying flip. Chester looked surprised and said, "Look at that! Your wings must not be hurting anymore." Haggis realized that Chester was right. He had just flown, and he excitedly exclaimed, "I can go home!" And then he noticed that Chester looked a bit sad about that, and realized that that was rather inconsiderate. Chester still didn't know where he was, and he'd be left all alone. So, despite wanting to go home more than anything in the world, Haggis said, "If I fly up above the canopy, is there a landmark I can look for that will tell you how to get to your home?" Chester brightened at the thought. It was visible. And he said, "There's a small mountain not far away from here. It has 3 big rocks at the crest. Find that for me, and I can find my way home." Haggis flew above the canopy and immediately spotted the small mountain that Chester had described. He excitedly flew back down to the floor and gave Chester the heading that he would need to go to find his mountain. And told him it wasn't far off. Knowing that they both now knew how to get home, they parted ways. Chester got home safely to his family, and Haggis got home as well. When Haggis got home, he was greeted with hugs and, of course, stern words from his parents. They were both glad he was safe and furious that he had not paid attention to his surroundings like they had warned him. And they informed him that it would be a long, long time before he was allowed out alone again. But Haggis hoped that when he would be able to track down his new monitor friend, Chester, and share some figs and new tales together. The end. We're going to call that it for this story, as Chester would say. Yeah, that's tonight's story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think at least once a week I'm going to try to do a story that involves some real animals. Maybe some facts about them, kind of like I did tonight. It's a fun way of including one of my passions, which is animals. I love animals. Maybe get a chance to bring some attention to some of them and the fact that deforestation is a real thing that is hurting a lot of them, like the giant golden crown flying foxbat, which, if you have never looked up, are super cool. You should definitely go check them out. There's a bunch of information on them. They're really neat looking, and monitors are also really cool in their own right. You can actually, a lot of reptile stores sell different monitors. They're a little dangerous depending on which ones you get, but some of the smaller ones are pretty cool. They come in all sorts of color variations. A lot of people don't realize how diverse the colors of reptiles are, but monitors are really beautiful. So, and not all of them are meat eaters, like the Gray's monitor that can be found on the Philippine Islands. I think there's like 3 species on the Philippine Islands that are mostly vegetarians. They eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. They will eat meat, but they don't usually. So, hope everyone enjoyed the story. Hope everyone is going to stay warm today and tomorrow. Get your heaters cranked. Stay out. Stay inside. It's chilly. And with that, I'm going to call this story and send you guys over to the ending screen. I will be live again Friday night for a new tale. Not sure which direction we're going to go yet. I guess that'll be a last minute decision. So thank you. Have a good night, and I'll catch you all later.